Hello, beautiful souls. It's Kanisha with Peace, Love, and Faith. And today's video is going to just be a card reading on healing your abundance and more on financial abundance, but this can be really anything. Abundance is all beautiful things coming into your life, whether it's people, places, things, situation, actual physical money, gifts, anything that the universe decides to bless you with. Just so you know, I got a new chair, so I'll probably be spinning. If you don't like that, you can click off. It's okay. So, I'm going to be pulling from the Angels of Abundance Oracle deck, which I absolutely love. I have been holding workshops the last few weeks for people in the community for Twin Flames Universe and been helping them heal their finances. It's been really cool to see them have their own breakthroughs while they move through their blocks around abundance and money and receiving and giving. And so I just wanted to come on here and give a video and maybe help you start to heal some of your financial blocks and abundance blocks. I do want to just say, side note, because I am using cards, that you always want to make sure that you're checking in with yourself and that you're checking in with God or the divine, to make sure that this is always for you and that you're resonating, that you're not just taking information from people off YouTube and not going within and really making sure that this information or this guidance is for you. So if you're going to card readings and stuff like that to search for answers outside of you and you find that it's become more of an addiction or it's just something that you do, this is going to be really important that you heal this, because this will be reflected to you for those of you who are on the twin flame journey, that that's you looking for love outside of yourself. But it's okay that if it's like every once in a while, I do that too. Every once in a while I feel like I'm guided to watch something and I receive a really deep healing or message through it, but I always go back to God and just check in with him there. And it's not something that I depend on to give me my answers. So just wanted to do a side note there. But other than that, let's get started and see what the divine has for you regarding healing your abundance and your finances. And I'll just give you some support here. So yeah, I love this first card. Just as I was saying, God, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this due to the light. God is your source. It says everything you need is supplied by an infinite source of God, by the infinite source of God, and your faith opens the doorway to receive. In God, there is no lack or limitation. Rather, there is a plentiful of abundance for all to share. So what I've learned from Twin Flame Ascension School and Life Purpose class at Twin Flames Universe is that God is your source. He is your banker. He is the one who is in charge of all money. And one of the biggest lessons that I have learned is, instead of looking to my outside for money or where I think I'm lacking money, I go within and I use the mirror exercise. And so it could look along the lines of, I'm upset because I don't have enough money to pay my bills. And then you flip it around towards yourself. I'm upset with myself because I don't have enough for myself. And it's really just pointing out this place where you're feeling a deep lack within yourself and you don't feel enough, or that you have enough for yourself. So you find that part of yourself, you love them, you ask them what they need to feel loved. And it can just be either like unconditional love, or I need your attention, or I need to know that I am worthy and enough and valuable. And when you give this to yourself inwardly, you start to feel that lack. And once I do that and I come from a place of peace, I then let God know, even though he knows what you need, I let God know what I need. So I could say something along the lines like, God, I need $500. I'm open to receiving that, and however you bring it to me, whether it's through ideas or clients booking appointments and sessions, or people booking readings, whatever it is, I'm completely open to it. Just, can you give me the guidance, or just bring it to me, whatever. And I just surrender and give it to God. And every time that I've done this, it's always worked out. Always. There's never been a time where I've never been taken care of. And sometimes it's literally at the last minute that I will receive it, but God's always come through. And I think one of the most important things about it is that you do your inner work first. You go within, you find this part of you, you love it, you tell them that they're enough and that they will be taken care of, and then you ask God for what you need, and you allow God and the universe to do what they do to bring to you. So that's a really cool thing that I've practiced and that I've learned. And the more that I've done that, the more that I don't ever really stress about my bills or anything like that. It's been a very long time since I've had to ask anyone for help. And I really admire how much work I've done around it so that I could get to this place, because it never felt good to have to always ask for support and help in this way. I really wanted to get to a place where I was independent. So know that God is your source. Anything that you need, you get from within. You go to God. And like I was saying about the card readings, sometimes people will go look for answers, but all the answers that you need are within you. So when you really choose to go within and hone in on your own inner power and go to God and have that connection and that conversation with him, he's gonna show you. And I say he and God because that's what I relate to. If you don't relate to that, it's all good. Universe, Mother Gaia, whatever you want to call it, source, love, but I call it God. And when I do that, God shows me that I can trust him because he always shows up. It always is just like, sometimes it's only God that I went to or talked to about it, and then it's always taken care of or revealed, or someone, God moves through someone to provide for me. It's so crazy. So know that God is your source. Whatever you need, you go to God for it. Instead of trying to go outside and fix it or change it right away, you want to go within and shift and change how you feel inwardly, and you'll see your outward reality shift as well. Okay, let's see what else we got going on here. All right, we have courage for have courage to ask for and accept help. So like I was saying, I had a hard time with this one. It says, asking for help is a sign of strength, as is accepting it when it is offered to you. Very often, when you ask God for help, prayers are answered through other people. Be sure to accept this assistance as well as give it to others as you are guided. Yeah, absolutely. So what really stands out to me is like when you ask God for help, prayers are answered through other people. So I absolutely love this card because it's true. Like once you ask God for help, sometimes he will move through other people, or he will bring to you that you may need to ask someone. And a lot of the times, if you feel really uncomfortable with that, like for me, I'm not someone to ask someone for help. So when I do have to ask, I get anxiety and I feel really like, ugh. And there's a fear of rejection around it. But what God is helping me see is that I can't receive if I don't ask. And sometimes I have to ask. So the story that's coming to me is when there's a flood and this man is on top of his roof and a boat comes, and he was like, no, I asked God for help. I'm going to wait for him. So the boat leaves, and then another boat comes and they're like, here, get in. He's like, no, I asked God for help. I'm going to wait on him. And so they leaves, and then a helicopter comes and they try to save him. He's like, no, I asked God for help and I'm going to wait on him. And then he ends up dying and ends up in heaven. He's like, God, I asked you for help. Why didn't you do anything? He's like, I sent you 2 boats and a helicopter and you didn't take any one of them. So God could be moving through literally anyone. You just have to be open to receiving. And when you ask God for help, he again will move through whoever he needs to. I one time knew that my car was going to give out on me because of the noise it was making. And I was like, God, I just started a new job. I cannot not have a car. I don't have the money to buy a new car. I don't have an extra car anywhere or know anyone who has an extra car. Like I went through my entire list of people that I would go to, and none of them had an extra car. So I just prayed on it, gave it to God. And 2 days later, my car breaks down. Luckily in a spot that was good for me to be able to get work on it. But my boys' dad let me borrow his car for the weekend, and I went to church, and my aunt was like, oh, you got a new car? And I was like, no. Told her the situation, and she's like, oh, how crazy. I just bought a new car this weekend, and my Tahoe is sitting in the driveway. You can use it until you get your car fixed. That was God. Okay. Like, what made her buy a car that weekend, y'all? So anyways, you really just have to trust that the help will come through. You have to ask, and you shall know that you will receive, and just having faith and belief. And for me, the biggest thing is just trusting and asking and surrendering it. And so if you have this place where you're always like looking to see if it's going to be answered, or like freaking out because it hasn't been answered yet, that's actually going to slow down the answer coming through or the help coming through. So once you surrender it, just know that it's going to be taken care of. All right. I'm going to pull one more card here. I hope maybe 1 or 2. We'll see. Actually, this one, it was already flipped over, so I'm just flipping it with the rest of the cards. All right. We have face your financial fears. Yes. When you're honest with yourself about your fears, of success or failure, they can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness, and you'll realize that, in fact, you'll have nothing to fear, and that every successful person has struggled with or released self doubt. So, yeah, absolutely. Once you start facing your fears about your financial situation, then it can no longer just dwell in your mind and in your heart. And for me, I started to track what I was doing so that I could see really where I was spending my money and where it was going. And I also had to acknowledge the fears that I picked up from the household that I grew up in. And my home, they always stressed about money. It was always, we didn't have enough, we're gonna lose our house, all of these. It was always so much fear that's the programming that I took on about money. I always remember my mom saying too, that money's burning a hole in your pocket. And I make sure that I'm very aware that I don't say things like that to my children, because I realized as I got older, there was really this deep fear that it was just going to leave me and I was never going to have enough. And then that's what I experienced, because that was the dominant belief that I was holding on to. And so it's really important that you start to change your wording about money or finances and really start to see that there's an abundance, which really is money's printed every day. There's more than enough. But if you're not attracting it to you, it's because you have beliefs and fears about money that you have to choose to let go of, and you can heal using the mirror exercise and start to create new beliefs about money. I really love sleeping with affirmations on at night. Mine are not particularly about money, but I do have affirmations in my affirmation recording that does talk about money. I go to Dylan James's channel. You can check that out on YouTube. He has great affirmations there. Sleep affirmations for nighttime, because that's the fastest way to reprogram your mind, is when you're sleeping. And so when you reprogram your mind, sorry guys, my allergies are driving me crazy. When you reprogram your mind, you will be able to start to recognize when you're moving from fear and start to make a new choice during the day when you're awake. So I had gotten a really large sum for my income tax, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to be gone so quickly. And I really had to feel my fears about it and then make a plan for it so that I didn't feel like it was going to be just gone right away. And I'm having to really trust that I can move through that plan and it be okay. So anyways, get clear on your financial fears and just be honest about it. Say it out loud. Once you say it out loud, you're like, that really isn't something I have to be really fearful about. Why do I hold fear onto it? What am I perceiving in this space that makes me think that I'm going to be hurt here? Because fear is fake evidence appearing real. So when you really allow yourself to be honest in that space, you can really start to shift and change there. All right, I'm going to pull one more. And if you would like more help here, definitely reach out to me. This is something I've been working a lot on, and I have honestly had more abundance come in the last 2.5 months than I have what feels like forever. I feel just very abundant in every way. And I do have workshops going on as well on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And then other than that, healing your finances will be also a huge thing if you're on the twin flame journey, because your fears around finances will be mirrored to you by your twin flame, whether it's through finances or something else. But let's just go ahead and clear those blocks. So the last card is no more complaining. There we go. It says, complaints are affirmations of victimhood, which is never true spiritually. Take back your God-given power by affirming that you have an abundance of choices and freedom. With your increased confidence and assertiveness, watch these positive affirmations blossom into reality. Absolutely. So no more complaining. I realized one of the things that I was complaining about was that there was more month than money. That's an affirmation in itself. So I had to stop saying that, and I started saying I have more than enough. I have more money than I can even imagine. I love that I make more than enough money. I love that money is always flowing to me. I love that I make money every single day. I love when I make money doing nothing. I love when I make money sleeping. Y'all, that's actually facts. I make a lot of money while I sleep. Ooh, I lost my earring. But I literally will take a nap sometimes in the middle of the day, I'm exhausted and I feel like I have to push through and get work done. And this was a big thing in my household growing up as a child, is we do not take naps. It's not okay. And so I've had to learn to rest and give myself what I need there. And when I do that, I 100% every time someone buys a coaching session or a reading, as soon as I choose to care for myself and rest instead of stressing and thinking like I have to figure out how to make a certain amount or whatever, I nap and I wake up to money. Like, it's really crazy. So know that rest is very productive. It's actually very needed. And the more that you rest, you have more energy. And that energy is going to help cultivate and attract more abundance. So if you're feeling depleted and tired all the time, I guarantee that's what your finances look like. All right. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. No more complaining. Choosing to talk about money abundantly, lovingly. Money loves me. I love money. Money always finds its way to me because it loves me. Whatever it is, you can find affirmations all over Pinterest, but the most important thing is the feeling. So if you're feeling lack and you're not feeling like you can believe these affirmations, you can say things like, I'm learning to love money. I'm learning that money flows to me easily when I choose it. And it's just being in that energy of abundance. When you're in that energy of love, joy, peace, you're naturally in that vibration of abundance and can attract it to you. But when you're in anger, sadness, frustration, guilt, regret, that kind of energy, you're cutting off the flow. So really feel your feelings, heal it using the mirror exercise. I'm here to help you if you need it. But I will definitely see you guys around. Peace, love, and faith. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.